Hey, I want to say thank you for taking the time to check out Coach Ashley Robinson Page. Today, I have a very good friend. Man, this is a special one to me, right? Because this is someone that was very pivotal in my. Probably even said it wrong, but anyway, you know me. I don't important, instrumental in my life as a player. When I was a hooper, he was a coach. Actually, somebody I wanted to step on the court with, but the dang on rules wouldn't allow us to make it happen. And so he was a coach that I have the utmost respect and love for. Coach Derrick Pringle, I want to introduce. He's someone that I'm going to be going down to Kansas to go and work with him with the Ashley Robinson Initiative. And so I'm going to introduce him, and me and him, we're going to do, as y'all know, we're going to chop it up and get it in. So my guy, my good friend, Coach Derrick Pringle.
So I appreciate you, fam. Long time, right?
Yes.
Too long, man. Over 17 years. Think about it.
Yes. 17 years, man.
Too long, man. But thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad to finally talk to you again and see you, my brother. I'm looking forward to working with you too, man. Very excited.
Yeah. So Derrick, first of all, what I want to do is, of course we know each other, but the world don't know who you are. So I want my viewers to know exactly who Coach Derrick Pringle is, what you do, you know what I mean? Give a little background of your history from he was a hooper, you know what I mean? Very well respected and known back in Washington, and went from transitioning from a hooper to a coach. And what's so special is you actually grabbed the whole of the women's game and you ran with that. You know what I mean? Although you were a coach on the men's side, but for some reason you just took a liking and loving to the women's side and you ran with it. And so this is why, another reason why I wanted to bring you on, because we all know the women, they don't really get loved like we do. You know what I mean? And so I want you to share, who you are, and then we're going to just continue to keep going from there, my man.
Got you, man. So kind of history of me, obviously I played basketball in Washington State. I'm from Olympia. My dad was in the military for 20 years, so kind of bounced around, but Washington's my home. That's where, the 360, you know what I mean, put on the map. But yeah, man, so I played at Puget Sound Christian College, my last basketball year of college. That was kind of about to play with you. That was a whole plan, open gyms and whatnot, but, God had a different plan for me and didn't work out. So I was being blessed and lucky to kind of at 23 to be a college basketball coach as an assistant. And that was, I was beyond grateful. A funny story is my mom, when I was a kid, said I was going to be a coach. And I was like, nah, I'm going to be in the NBA, I'm going to be in the NFL, I'm going pro, do stuff. But she saw that in me as a young kid. And when I got hired on, I was like, okay, God, what's up? Because this ain't what I thought. My mom said it, but this ain't what I thought it would be,
Yeah.
But that year, man, I was Coach you and some other guys that I'm still friends with, was probably the best time of my life to kind of grow as a coach, grow as a leader, and kind of see what God had for me as far as, being part of the basketball game, the basketball thing. So from 23 to 24, I was named the head coach at AD, still in school, about to graduate, about to get married and all kind of stuff. And again, it was God kind of opening that door for me, guiding me to where he wanted me to be. Well, that's in that May, I graduated school and I found out school's going to close. I'm about to get married in June. So it's May, school closed, get married in June, right? I had no job. I don't know what I was going to do next. And funny story is that AD at Simpson University, I played at Simpson before I went to Puget Sound, gave me a call, was like, hey, I heard the school closed. What do you think my next year? I was like, well, I don't know. I'm trying to coach still, but I'm about to get married. I don't know what I'm going to do. But once you apply for a women's basketball job, I'm like, I'm 24 years old. Do you want me? He goes, yeah, apply for it. I said, all right. So I applied for it. I didn't get hired though. No one knows the story but my wife. I didn't get hired on. So I got married on June 30th. I got hired on June 2nd.
Oh, wow.
No one knew but my wife and I. Everyone thought I had jobs still. I was like, no, I'm unemployed, homeless, you know what I'm saying, about to get married. But God knew, it was on God's timing, man. So I got hired June 2nd, started on July 7th. And man, I've been doing it ever since. The women's game, I love it. My wife, again, told me that when I was coaching you guys, said, Derrick, give me a good women's coach. I was like, man, whatever. I'm coach God, it's my life. I'm going to Duke, you know what I mean? But again, I think God used my mom and my wife to speak his plan into my life. And man, 15 years now strong, coaching women. I love it. I'm never leaving. It's been a blessing, man, to kind of be in this career and be able to change people's lives.
Man, no, that's actually, it's great to actually hear your background story. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know, the background. Of course, the coaching side for us, I knew you end up going over onto the women's side. And I have been following you from Washington. I was like, oh, because you got when the school closed down, it affected all of us. You know what I mean?
Yes,
at that time, here I am. I'm hooping. I'm like, all right, man, I'm about to get my degree and everything. And all of a sudden, when they said, oh, the basketball program was shut down. Oh, okay, but still, school's still good, right? Still, yeah. I'm going to school. And they said, nope, everything is shut. I said, God, I guess this just ain't your will. You know what I mean? And so,
well, you remember that day though, right? Because we were working at Open Gym that day.
Yes.
And all of us, it was you. We had with JoJo, Chris, all them, right? And we were actually getting ready for the season. We had a squad too. We had a squad coming up, man.
Yes.
And Donna Marie Bertrand walked in the gym and said, hey guys, basketball done.
Yeah.
And our faces were just shocked.
Oh, I was so sick. I was like, because that was my second time I had started out at Puget Sound Christian College. Shout out to Coach Troy McNichols, who found me hooping. I was hooping on street ball 3-on-3 tournament out, I think in Issaquah somewhere, you know what I mean? And he saw me playing and he said, hey, you pulled me out there. I was done because I felt like there's a switch for me, like yourself. We're the nicest people. You can smile and laugh, but there's a switch. You get to talking or something like that. You cut on the switch and it's kill mode. You know what I mean? And so it was one of those, and he saw somebody, shout out to my guy Punchy. I got much love. I always tell him he's out of Seattle. He don't understand. I'll be like, man, thank you, because you brought the best out of me that day, which changed my life. You know what I mean? And so Troy McNichols, he saw me and was like, hey, put me to the side. You ever thought about going to college? And I'm thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? I want to go to college, you know what I mean? And he said, it's a Christian college. For me, I was like, I need to go to a Christian college, you know what I mean? Because I understand what that meant, because I was a married man, you know what I mean, with a child, and I understand. And that's how my mom raised me, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, yeah, this is important. I need this. And to have an opportunity to go and hoop, do something I love. And so that's how I got to Puget Sound Christian College. But the trip part is, I think we was ranked number 10 at that time. We had a squad, you know what I mean? Shout out to Mark Arrington, one of the coldest hoopers out in Washington. So he was my teammate at that time. And I had some more, but our squad was ranked number 10. We was traveling, I think where we go, Michigan somewhere. We was actually going places, right? And mid-season, all these guys didn't have grades. Half of the team didn't have the grades, and they had to shut the program down. You know what I mean? The basketball program. And I was like, oh, so I ended up going back to Bremerton. Now, mind you, I was traveling from Bremerton all the way over to go to Mount Lake Terrace. You know what I mean?
My ferry, huh?
Yep, my ferry. My ferry. And they would pick me up. That's what I said. I had so much love for Puget Sound. And once that happened, that's how I ended up going to OC for 2 years. Once that was over, I had a chance to go back to Puget Sound. And then the school shut down. I said, God, you know what? This is 2 times. You know what I mean? Program, and this time the whole school shut down. So that's how I thought about it. And I was like, man, and both times, I felt like it was such a bright future. You know what I mean? At that school, with the teams that I had, the coaches, I was like, man, we're going to do something. And God was like, nope, I got something else for you. You know what I mean? And so, but along the way, I've been blessed to meet like yourself, you know what I mean? People along the way who are still instrumental, still in my life, that was bigger. Once I say it's bigger than basketball, and that's really what it is. And so, man, so tell me, okay, you said Simpson.
Yeah.
So you went to Simpson. How long were you there? Because I know you're at a new school, and so give me a little bit about that.
Simpson, I was there for 14 years, man.
Wow.
I love Reading. I love Simpson, man. But it was just time for me to make a change, I just felt that right now in my life, I needed to do something different. I mean, you do something for so long, you kind of repetitive, And I wasn't growing as a man. I wasn't growing as a coach. And I needed to go somewhere else for the time being. Crazy story is, right, so it was like during the pandemic, last year, yeah, 20, during the pandemic. We still played 10 games at Simpson during the pandemic. Lost in semifinals, so couldn't go nationals, whatever. A friend of mine's daughter played for Vanguard, down SoCal. And they're playing Bethel, where I'm at now. So I'm watching the game online, just like trying to support my boy's daughter and whatnot. And I see this team playing. It's Bethel. I'm like, Bethel. And as I'm watching it, I see myself coaching that team. It's surreal. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So I go online, right? Look at the school. Okay, school's not bad. It's in Kansas. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? We'll look at it anyway. And I say, if it open up, I'm going to apply for it. Well, I didn't think it opened up. The coach just got first time in nationals. He's doing have a good career here. He was doing good stuff. It was a month later, the job opened up. I said, okay, Lord, I'll apply, see what happens. Probably won't get it, but I'll apply for it. Apply for it. Next week, I get a phone call from the AD. Hey, we want to do an interview with you over Zoom. All right, cool, do an interview over Zoom. I'm not getting this job, right? I'm not qualified for it, I don't think. Did interviews on a Tuesday. I get a call Wednesday. Say, hey, we want to fly you out here for an interview. I said, cool, when? This Sunday. I said, oh. All right. So I fly out that Sunday, right? Interview on a Monday. I bombed the interview. I was nervous. I didn't go smooth at all. I thought I did. Get a call that night. Hey, we're going to offer you the job for be a coach at Bethel. I mean, it happened like a week span, right? This whole time I think I was going to get it. And I was like, that's my wife about it first, but I'm in, you know what I'm saying? And man, and I said yes to it. And it's been a hard few years for my family from being from California, they're all born and raised there, and moving in from what they knew to be in Kansas. But God's had a plan for my family, for me especially, on growing as a coach, on kind of get my mind back to why I do coach, which is for His kingdom. So it's been a struggle, but then a blessing also kind of seeing what God's doing in my life.
Yeah, no, that's pretty dope, right? It's funny that you say that, because I know changes is hard. You know what I mean? That's something I can relate. Like you said, we've both been in Washington. Same thing. I was born in Memphis. I lived here for 10 years, but then my mom ended up joining the military. So I went from Memphis, like I said, from going from Memphis going to Alaska, huge culture shock, and it was like, oh wow, and then being able to have to make those adjustments, and which was a blessing for me, because then, like I said, being in the military, we went from Alaska to North Carolina and different places, so it allowed me to begin to open up my mind and just see life differently.
Yeah.
But even still, although we did travel, being in the military as a kid, once you sort of get settled somewhere, and especially have a family, because that's that same thing, like you said, going from California, and sort of like you say, my kids basically was born in a sense in Washington, you know what I mean? Raised there. So pulling them out and bringing them to a whole nother place. They're in Virginia, and of course I'm in Memphis. That was a major change for us, and we had to make adjustments. And I had mentioned a friend. I have some players out there that's in Kansas, and I was like, "Yo, I want y'all to come through. I got a camp. You know what I mean?" One of my guys, RJ, he played overseas with me. He's from there, and I told him where I was going to be at, and he said, "Man, you're going to be in Kansas, like Superman." I said, "Oh, is it that deep?" So coming from a city atmosphere almost in California, things is, I'm sure, faster paced, and taking them out to Kansas, I know about Wichita. I had a friend that was stationed out in Wichita. I was like, Wichita, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a major difference. And so that's normally how God does it. You know what I mean? We have an idea, and his plan is completely opposite than what we have. You know what I mean? So how has it been, with the transition, not only with your family, but coaching wise? You know what I mean? You have a new team. What is that looking like now for you?
So this is the first year that I actually been able to coach. At Simpson, I was an SID, assistant AD. I did game management, and the other tasks too besides coaching. It's the first time I actually be able to focus on basketball. So that part's been really cool. It's been kind of weird, hard at times because I haven't done that before since Puget Sound, right?
Yeah.
But this is the first time I actually I could recruit when I want to. I could game plan, I could break down film, and that's it. So that's been kind of how can I put it? It's been an adjustment for me, a good one, but it's an adjustment. This team, man. Again, we have the best record this year, but this team's been a blessing to my soul. Kind of tell you our story. We had 4 girls with ACL tears at the beginning of the year, and those 4 girls would have played for us like a lot of minutes. Talking about my point guard from California that I brought with me. She was all conference. She came with me, torn ACL. Top shooter out of Oregon that I brought with me, tore ACL. Our 6'2" post player fractured her knee. Our 5'7", 5'6" guard that we brought, defensive guard, tore ACL. So those 4 players are out.
Wow.
So we come in with high hopes, right? And then it changes like that.
That is crucial. When I was coaching in high school and I was coaching girls, that was some of the things that I had to go through. You know what I mean? Some of my star key players who came in like, yo, we're about to do some things. And within the first couple of games, I'm watching girls go down, ACL, tears. It's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at my bench. And it's different in college and high school, you know what I mean? Where at least you can at least recruit. In high school, you got to take what you can find, you know what I mean? And now you're like, oh man, I didn't really have a good bench as it is. And so, you have to make those adjustments. So now what you're saying, so do you have with those girls, are they going to be playing this year or are they out for this season?
Oh, they're all back now. So they got cleared at the end of February. Okay. So now they're working out now with me. So praying everything goes well, everyone says healthy. Because no one knows about these 4 girls that we had. Because they weren't hurt. Because they came with me, right? And the girls I inherited, they weren't bad players, just didn't fit my style of play.
Okay.
So this is the first. So now this is my first recruiting class I brought in. The girls I brought with me from last year together with some returners. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be tough.
Your style, this is something that's key to you. You mentioned something that's very important. Us being coaches and hoopers, the style, the system is very important. The type of player being able to fit into a style or a system. What is your style?
We're more up tempo. Obviously, defensive minded, but I put my players' freedom on the court. We'll have our different reads or plays. People call them different reads of our offense, but I want them to kind of think on the fly and adapt to what defense is given. You're not as being a player. You've been a boxer so long, you can't do this and that. Yeah. I'm total opposite. If you go hoop. This is our system. This is how we want to play, but I want you to have freedom to do what you do best.
I love it. That's how I coach. You know what I mean? I think that's what made us, special even as hoopers. You know what I mean? Because that's Nathan. He allowed us to do that. It was one of those when we was playing was like, hey, this is what it is, but you're a hooper. You know the game. You know what I mean? And so having that freedom, it really changes the game. So that's how I coach at every level. Okay, I have a system. Now, things break down. There's times where I'm going to have to call a play. We're going to have to change it up. But I need you to play the game. You know what I mean? And so that is a major game changer. And I think that's something too, players that's watching and parents who's listening, and you're looking for a college and for a coach, because that's the big thing. This is the kind of program that you have out in Kansas. You know what I mean? So we have, and I know a showcase coming up, soon. And so we're going to speak a little bit on that a little later. But before we go there, are you still recruiting? Is there still room? Like what does that look like for you?
Yes, we're still got 3 spots on my board right now. 3 spots open right now on the roster, trying to fill. And how I recruit is right. A lot of people recruit like, I need a point guard and a shooting guard. I need basketball players. You know what I mean? Like, if you can play basketball and you like to win, I want you here. That's all I think. So I'm trying to find those kind of girls right now. I mean, if you're a 5'2" or you're 6'2", if you go hoop, I want you here. Simple. I got that philosophy from Westmont. They're out in California, right? They were the number 3 this year in the nation. Their leading rebounder was 5 foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I played them like 2 years ago and they smacked us. They had a 5 foot, 5'2" guard, right? Leading rebounders. I say, you know what? Height doesn't mean anything. If you go hoop, you go hoop. It's simple. So simple. Look at Isaiah Thomas in the NBA. If you go hoop, you go hoop.
You can hoop. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's funny because, you know, I played when I was at Puget Sound, well, before Puget Sound, when I went back to OC, they actually played me as a power forward. And I'm like, I am a guard. You know what I mean? I'm a combo. I can do 1-2, but a power forward. You know what I mean? But that was something, like you said, a hooper, that's just what we do. You know, you adjust to whatever's needed, you know, and going back to Puget Sound before it shut down, I was actually number 2 in all-time leading rebounds behind Mark Arrington. You know what I mean? And that's something that I took pride in. I said, you know, my little short time there, I was able to, when it finished, you know, I think I averaged 9.9, you know what I mean, rebounds, because I was just one of those fundamentals, boxing out, just, you know, go read the ball, just the love of the game. So that is key. And I think that'll be like players who are looking for a program to just so they can have that freedom and they can just play ball. And because that's a lot of things too. You're so afraid to make mistakes. You know what I mean? You're so afraid to, okay, if I don't get this right, I don't get that. And I had to experience that in some of my career where it was like, all right, you got politics, favoritism, you got all of these things where you're just like, coach, just let me play. You know what I mean? Let me play within the system. Okay, I understand there's a system, but if I play and I produce and I can help you, then why can't I do that instead of almost robotic? You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to you on that. Let me see, why not go ahead and throw in the twist? So everybody who watched my YouTube, they know when I throw in that twist, I had to bring out the Bible, right? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring that out. And so, man, the scripture I'm gonna take today is out of Proverbs 3. And I was reading this, God had me read this whole chapter yesterday, you know what I mean, which was a blessing. And the title of just the chapter is Trust in the Lord with All Your Heart. And we're going to go into chapter 3, verses, I want to go 5 and 6. And it reads, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make straight your path. So I'm taking that and I'm gonna say, boom, I'm gonna throw that at you and say, when you hear and read that, give me an example how that's applied to your life. Because I know, because you my God, we you know, Christian school, I know Christ is everything for us. So I know you heard and you read this and it means something to you. So looking at your life and how things have changed, and when you hear that scripture, just whatever God lay on your heart, what is that or how does that speak to you?
That's funny. I mean, that's something I need to hear today, to be honest with you. Like, that just hit me. It's my family, right? We're trying to figure out what we're going to do next, right? What's the best thing for our children, for my wife, for me. And that just gave me like peace, like trusting God in everything we do. Like he knows, he has the plan for us. He has the map already laid out for us, the road. We have to just follow it, right? But when I see it, but trusting him that he has what's best for us. So for me, man, honestly, right now, I just need to trust the Lord in our next step in, you know, finding a house or finding a school for my boys. Like, I can't worry about it anymore. My wife can't worry about it anymore. Just trust that the Lord has the spot we're supposed to be and a plan for us on what's next. So that's just more of a today thing for me right now. Just in trusting the Lord, man, because my whole life, man, I've trusted him, and even in my darkest hour, he has been there for me. Even when I wasn't doing what I needed to do, he was still there for me. The last hour, the last second, the last minute, he showed up. So why now doubt him? Why?
No, that's it's a blessing just even to hear your words. You know what I mean? Because that's why God took me to that scripture. You know what I mean? Because it was one of those where I'm like, God, you know how you feel like I've done all the right things. I'm doing all the right things. You know what I mean? I'm planning, I'm preparing, I'm doing all of this. And it seemed like it's not working. And one of the things I was listening to today, because I tend to like this is how I start my day in a sense. God, it depends on whatever time He wakes me up. You know what I mean? And He wakes me up, and then we begin to have our conversation. You know what I mean? With prayer, He talks to me. He opens up. Hey, go to this scripture, because I'm like, man, God, what's this and that? And so yesterday, that was one of my things, because I have major projects that are going on right now. One of them is the Asher Robinson Initiative. And I'm like, God, it's so huge. It's big, it's bigger than I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's things that I need that I don't know where it's going to come or how it's going to fit together. And you know what I mean? And so you start to get in your own head, and you begin to say, okay, how do I make it happen? And God, that's why I said, He had me read the whole thing. And I had to mark it. May 1st, 2022. I had to write the date, because I was like, trusting you, Lord. This is where I'm at. You know what I mean? And so for you to say what you're saying, this was for both of us. You know what I mean? It was a word of encouragement. That's what the word talks about. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to have the fellowship, with the brother and with the body, as it says. And so to hear you say that, it also gives me peace. You know what I mean? It lets me know I'm not the only one going through this, and it lets you know you ain't the only one that's going through it. And all the viewers that's gonna see it, God have us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like you said, He already mapped it out. It's not like you did something, you said, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." No, He's sovereign. He's the one who is the, as the word say, I have predestined. You know what I mean? Your life. I've written your story, and it's a done deal. Now you're the one who's going through it. I'm with you. I'm right there. You know what I mean? And so I had to. Honestly, it's a place of humility and a place of rest. You know what I mean? Where you say, God, there's nothing else I can do. All I can do is wait. And that was one of the things when you called in and we was talking, I had my worship music on, I'm listening. One of the songs is talking about, I will wait on you. You know what I mean? I will wait on you. And part of my reading too, the Bible talks about 1,000 years is only a day.
Yeah.
1,000 years is only a day to God. So 1,000 years to us, and that's how it feels. You know what I mean? Yeah. In these moments where we're like, God, hurry up. He's like, I'm building you. I'm building patience. I'm as the word talks about, I'm pruning so you can bear more fruit. You know what I mean? The Spirit of God, I'm removing things. I got you. And like you said, what was so encouraging that you reminded me, the last minute, the last second, I watched God do all of that. When it was like, oh man, why was I tripping? You know what I mean?
Right? Yes. Yes. I hear bugging for no reason, like why was I tripping for? I knew he was gonna come through.
It wasn't. It was a time that we wanted to get, because we'll say in the world, right? The world is instant, everything right now. Let's make it happen. Boom, boom, boom. We want to know everything. And for God, He's like, I'm the only one that's all knowing. You know what I mean? And because this is you're my child, you're my son, you're my daughter. I got you. If I gave up my only begotten son, you know what I mean? And that's something that He had to remind me. And I had to, rest and think on. I said, man, you did give up your son, and there's nothing greater than your son in your eyes. And so you gave up your son for your name's sake. This is something I was sharing in a previous interview. Your name's sake. He said, I do all this for His name's sake. So as His child, His name is on us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's all for His glory. You know what I mean? So, that's why I like to throw that twist. It's been a blessing because it's been messing me up, viewers up. I mean, everybody, my guests, because I don't know. I'll just be like, oh, do this and that. And I'll be like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna go, what this gonna mean, but when I do those things, and I give all glory to God, because it's the Spirit of God who's knowing what we need at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what that is. So man, so that was a good twist, God. You get the glory once again.
Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean?
Yes, sir. Amen to that.
So now we're gonna go back, because after I do the twist and I come back. Now let's speak on. You said, I know you had a few spots, about 2-3 spots available for your program. We are going to be in your area. We're going to be asking you, having a showcase with you on June 11th from 10 to 12. And so I'm excited about that, because first of all, I get to see my man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
17 years ago, 17 years, and get to do something that we love to do. One is to represent Christ, and that's the most important part. And to be able to give back and give opportunities and help young ladies, you know what I mean, with the game of basketball. And so I'm excited about that. So, like you said, well, you already said what you're looking for in that area. Now, is there a lot of schools? I don't know a whole lot, and I know you probably don't know a lot about that area, but is there a lot of schools around there, AAU programs? How is that area? What is?
As far as men's, I call it basketball mecca, to be honest with you, especially on the women's side, girls side. I mean, as far as high schools, there's a lot of small towns, a lot of high schools in the area close by. AAU is huge here. I mean, we have some of the best players in the nation that come out of Kansas. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we have one from Louisville next year, right down the street. A girl that's signed with Arizona. I mean, some talent out here. So it's a lot of good basketball on the women's side here in Kansas. They're not getting the resources to kind of expose yourself even more so. You know what I mean? As far as colleges, man, our conference, the KCAC, there's I feel like a school an hour or less around me, my conference, which is kind of nice. And then you got junior colleges as well. You got KU, you got Kansas State, you have a lot of D2 schools. We got a lot of schools in Kansas. Are good programs too that are trying to find players. So this would be a good spot for everybody to come to be seen by a lot of coaches. Hopefully you come to Bethel, but whatever. a lot of coaches, man. I'm in the area in the state.
So y'all heard it. Of course, we're gonna, like I said, you'll be getting a flyer today. We're gonna be promoting, start to promote this event, and this is something that, as long as you are there, I would love to make this the annual event for you in your program. You know what I mean? And if we need to expand it, make it, a couple more days, right now, the first event is going to be 4 hours. We're going to see how that goes. And, this will be an annual event. As it grows, we can grow with it. And I want to say thank you for hosting us. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to, for me, I want to be able to guarantee parents, you know what I mean? Like, hey, if you go to this school and your school is one that I know, if they go to your school, I co-sign, you know what I mean? You coach me, and you know what I mean? And just your character on and off the court is amazing, you know what I mean? So that's why I say thank you for hosting. And I look forward to coming out. Are you going to have any do you do anything outside, as far as, I'm going to say AAU, but you have your coaching for the school, but did you do anything else, I guess, programs for yourself outside of it?
Not really. I did that Simpson also. I try to be the hub for any kind of college athlete, high school athlete that want to play basketball in the summertime. So it'll be workouts, all free charge. Workouts free. I try to get a group of girls that want to hoop, on Saturdays or Sundays when I'm getting to the gym and play basketball. I try to be the hub. So if you go to K-State and you're in town, come to our gym, come hoop. If you go to your high school, trying to sponsor a play, come hoop. This is the hub for women's basketball. I wanted to be here. It's kind of my mission. It's kind of my ministry too. Is to know what can I do to give back? And that is having a place for girls to come play.
And then that's something that you mentioned, and I'm gonna definitely take you up on that offer when you are not busy, in the summer, to have you to jump on a tour with us, you know what I mean? Come and visit, some of these showcases, and be one of the coaches to really to speak and to actually train, to help be a part and encourage these young ladies as we go out, and they can see that there are people who actually really care, who wants to get behind and be a resource. Because as we both know, the women game versus the men game, it's so
Well, but the fact that you know how we were, we played everywhere, every day. We find an open gym and go play.
Yeah.
Every day, anywhere in the whole city or the state. Women's side, man, there's really nowhere. You know, and that to me is sad. Like you got to have a place to go play. You have to. Why not?
Right. So y'all heard it here. Bethel College is going to be the hoop spot y'all can go to tap into. My man, Coach Derrick, he's going to be the hub for the women, right? So if y'all out in that area, tap in, get your game, work on your game, just get reps up. You know what I mean? It's major. You know what I mean? All hoopers know that. You know what I mean? It's not just run and gun, but you got to put in work. You know what I mean? That's the biggest part. Everybody think they're just running up and down playing, you know, just basketball is putting in work. That's a part of it. That's a small part. You know what I mean? But actually hitting the work, hitting the weight, eating right, sleeping right. You know what I mean? The mental toughness, so many parts, game study or film study. So it's a lot that really goes into the game. So I think, like I said, the hub, my man, Coach Derrick, would be a great person in the Kansas area to tap in at Bethel College for that. So, my man, I'm about to get ready to close this up because we got to do some marketing. You know what I mean? And so, as we say, got to do some marketing. How can players, parents reach you in your program if they're interested?
Obviously, online at BethelThreshers.com. Check us out. My cell phone's on there. My Twitter, my Instagram, always on there. I don't mind sharing my phone number either. Also, so give me a call if you're in the area or you want to check out Bethel. Just text me or call me. We'll definitely get you out here for a visit. This is a great campus, small campus, but when I say they're very supportive, from a president to the faculty to the staff to our AD to our student body, they all love each other and pour into each other. It's a really unique environment. I'm blessed to be here, and I think anyone that comes to Bethel will be blessed as well.
All right, my man. So, hey, y'all heard it here. You know, I like to joke as I begin to learn how to do social media myself. So I always be like, hey, you know, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach Ashley Robinson. I'm on Facebook and IG. My team is Kitsap Admirals. And my training facility or training program is the Admirals Health and Performance, which is on Facebook. Yeah, see, I got so many moving. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, what else? So, man, like I said, thank you for taking the time out to just be transparent and just share your program. I look forward to seeing you on June 11th. And like I said, you'll be receiving some the promotion information today, and we'll definitely be in touch. So, hey, until next time.
Sir.
Love for you, my man.
All love, man. Appreciate you, fam.
You will talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Okay.